Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna from Created and Made, and today I'm going to show you guys what I came up with to use some of this leftover tablecloth material from my last video. Now I'll link that video up top, but I have and this isn't even all of it. I think I cut it in half. I had so much of this tablecloth material left that I wanted to figure out a way to use it. And so I came up with a fun way to use it on the gel plate where I made prints that came out kind of like this, right? Isn't that cool and interesting? Well, we're going to make a few of those prints, so this will be a quick, short video, but I just wanted to show you guys what I ended up coming up with, at least to use some of this stuff, right? Because I had a lot of it left over. So, fun stuff ahead. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is my plasticky, cheap Dollar Tree tablecloth that I showed you guys or introduced in my last video, which I linked up top before. And so there was so much of it left over that I decided to try another project with it to see if I can use up a little bit more of it. And I still have more left over, you guys. There's so much. For a single $1.25 item, you get a lot of material out of it. Now, what I decided to do was cut it down to fit onto a 9x12 gel plate or an 8x10. I used both of them. And then I balled up the piece really well. I balled it up. I held it so it can absorb those wrinkles. And then I'm going to grab my gel plate and my 6-inch sprayer and roll out some carbon black golden acrylic paint. Now I'm pressing the tablecloth into the paint, being careful not to have it slide around because it is plastic or some sort of plasticky material, and so it does want to slide on top of that acrylic paint. So as you see, I was able to get it to transfer really well, and then I get a bonus print over there on the side with a blank piece of paper, able to pull that acrylic paint off of the tablecloth. So I'm going to get a twofer here. So that's the pattern that's on my gel plate, and then I have the piece of tablecloth left too, and you'll see what I do with that later. So I'm just going to pull this print from the gel plate using some fluorescent paint from Meeden. And I'm going to roll this out with, once again, my larger brayer after I get all of the little paint blobs onto there. I'm using multiple colors just to get a little bit of variation in the background pull. I'm going to roll it out pretty well so the variation starts to blend a little bit, but I'm still going to get some blending and some pops of different colors in my background. So here's the print here, and you see all my fluorescent colors look very nice, and that pattern is really interesting and cool. It has a lot of depth. I really like how that came out. Now I'm going to go ahead and try this again. I have another piece of the tablecloth here, and I just kept creating new pieces because I had so much of it. Why not? But then because I found if I used it more than once, the acrylic paint starts to interfere with the print itself. So with this one, I thought there was too much of the black paint sort of left over. I tried to pull it off with another piece of paper, but then I decided to go ahead and try to pull more of it off using some wet paint, because that's a good way to pull off a gel plate. That's the whole, that's how it works. And so I got a piece of the tablecloth, and I'm just trying to get some more of that black to pull off using the blue color. And I can see, because I can kind of see through the plate, that I've been successful in enough spaces where I'm comfortable just going ahead and pulling it. So once again, I'm going to use a couple different colors to pull this print. And so it's going to have the black in the front, it's going to have that darker blue as a second layer, and then here the turquoise and green as the pulling layers. And so it's still a fairly black print, right, which is fine, but I was able to get some of that black to pull up, and because of that, able to get a lot of those other colors to show through in the background. And I think it came out really well. It's kind of goth or kind of dark and foreboding, but it has those pops of color in it, so that kind of rescues it a little bit. This is just a third variation. I'm going in with some gold here. I think I started with black, and the second color was quinacridone Azo Gold, I think, or something like that. I don't know what it was. And then I use gold to pull it, and once again, super interesting, super complex. It has some shine with the gold. I love it. I love it. I love these kind of prints. And here's just one more in that same color scheme, I believe. Black, the what is that color? Azo Gold is the name of the color, and then gold as the pull. Very interesting. Each one is completely unique, and so that's why I really enjoy it. And I think I did two more. This one I did in pink, in shades of pink. I really like this one. I really like that one. I like how that came out a lot. And then, no, I think this is the final one. The Shades of Pink one was the final one in the regular sort of pull off the gel plate form. So this is what I did with the actual tablecloth pieces. You saw me do some of this in my last video, but I have a piece of label paper in this blue color that I don't use a lot, so I'm perfectly willing to use it for this project. And I'm just sticking the tablecloth on top of the label paper. Now, if you don't have full sheets of label paper like this, you can use contact paper, just something to sort of give it a base, to give it something to stick to. It's easier to use if it has a paper backing, but it's still fine. You don't have to do this step. I just like to. So I stuck it down, and you see, one, it's already looking good, right? So I'm going to take my sand block, this thing I got from the Dollar Tree, and I don't know if you can really tell the difference in the video, but it's doing a good job of adding distress and pulling off that black acrylic paint in the background. And so that leaves some empty spaces for me to go ahead and colorize the silver that you can see. And what I'm doing is I'm using acrylic ink. Acrylic ink is probably one of the only things that will do this. Alcohol ink will work too, but because of this surface is sort of plasticky, using a watercolor ink or, like, let's say distress spray stain, something like that, it's not going to work because it's going to bead up. But look at that. Oh, look at it. It's all shiny and I love it. I added some like an amber color and then a burnt umber to get that darker color on there, and I just love the way it comes out because the shininess of the foiled surface still shows through because the acrylic ink is translucent, right? So you can still see the black from the acrylic paint, and then you're getting the translucent sort of shiny effect. I just love how these came out. Now this is just a double what am I saying? Another pair of acrylic inks, a blue and then a green. This one sort of is the one that came out looking like, ocean water or something like that. Super cool. Now, I did do a video like this, similar to this, but different technique using aluminum foil. I'll link that up at the top as well. But this, to be honest, it's easier. Look at that. It's easier. It doesn't require a Sizzix, which the other one did, because if you don't have a big shot, you can't do that other technique. And it, honestly, I like this technique better because you end up with a flatter paper to work on, and it's just easier, like I said. And so this was the last one. This was the reddish, pinkish family of colors that I did. And you see me spraying some alcohol on it just to sort of get the silver to show through a little bit, and so I can go over it with other colors that'll show better if the silver is also showing first. So that was the pink one that I did. I did just 3 of these using the actual tablecloth material. But you can see what I have now is now a piece of paper that can be used for all the things you use pattern paper for, right? And so here are the results of this short session. The pink and the gold shade one. I don't know which one's my favorite. I just like them all. I love them all. Yeah, that one's super cool. And then the regular sort of pulls off of the plate. I mean, you didn't see me do all of these, but I'm going to show them anyway. So, like I said, a short session, but I think a good one. I love this style of printing, this sort of grungy, distressed look, and I really love being able to use up scraps of something that I was trying to recycle, right? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And before you go, you might want to check out one of the videos off to the side. You might find something you enjoy. I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, keep creating and making. Bye bye.